Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Top's Outdoor Adventures. Today, I just kind of wanted to do a little follow-up on these Apimaye hives that I have. It is a rainy, overcast day out here in Oklahoma, and the bees aren't really out yet because it did just quit raining. But while we were sitting out here, and I'm sitting right behind you, I got the side-by-side out here, camera set up, and I'm sitting in the driver's seat, nice and comfortable, watching these bees as they start to get out and move around. But anyway, these are the two Apimaye hives that I got on, what was the 18th of April. I put a nuke into each one of those hives. Just wanted to set these things up, give them a brand new colony of bees from the start, and just see how they go. Well, first impression is that I really do like these Apimaye hives. They're rugged, they're easy to handle. The handles on the side are great for picking up and moving them around. Now, if you notice the way they're sitting there, hopefully you're close enough that you can see, the bottom of the Apimaye has 3 feet on it. So what I did have to do was narrow up my hive stands compared to a Langstroth hive, so that I could set the hive down on them and they wouldn't possibly slide around or move around. So you can see that, I think, pretty well. That was first order of business. I had to modify a hive stand for them. I bought the ergonomic kit or whatever. Came with 2 supers, or I'm sorry, 2 deeps, the feeders, there's a frame spacer, dividing boards. There's all kinds of, there's a solid bottom board, and there's a pollen trap and a pollen screen. And I didn't use any of that, okay? I'm not collecting pollen. So I had pulled the solid bottom board out and everything, where they had just a plastic ventilated bottom board, similar to, you know, your regular screen bottom boards that were running on the Langstroth hives. One thing that I did notice was that the yellow hive, which I call AE for Apimaye East because it's on the east side, a lot of the bees were congregating down there underneath that hive. And, you know, it's been happening since day one. And I gave them a week or two. I figured they'd eventually figure out that they need to be in the hive, not hanging under it. But they didn't figure it out. So yesterday when I was out here, I took a bee brush and I brushed them all off and slid the solid bottom board under there to discourage that. Now it's just the yellow colony on the east that was doing that. The blue colony, they did a little bit, but they seem to have gotten over it, and now they're actually all living in the box. So there was that I had to deal with, which was a no big deal. I mean, I prefer to have a screened or an open bottom board, and we'll give it a couple weeks, and I'll take that solid board back out, and it's just a little plastic tray that slides in there, closes it off. I'll take that back out and, you know, see if the bees start to congregate there again or not. If so, then maybe I'll just have to leave that solid plastic tray under it to make a solid bottom board, because these bees aren't smart enough to go in and out the front door. The next thing about the hive, these have the 2 individual feeders that, if you're familiar with Apimaye, you're familiar with the feeders. The couple problems that I have with that is, number one, if you still have feed in the feeders, you have to be able to take them off and set them down somewhere level so that you won't spill the feed out of it. Well, the only problem that causes is that there are a lot of bees on the bottom of that feeder, you know, because they access it from the bottom out of the body of the hive. So you have to set them down in a manner in which you don't mash any of the bees that are hanging out in the bottom. You cannot turn the feeder over, for example, to make sure that for whatever reason your queen's not hanging out up there, or you're going to spill any feed that's left in it. So there are some things that you have to take into consideration and be mindful of. But all in all, I mean, I like the hives. They're rugged. They are extremely weather resistant. The weight is not bad on them at all. And I mean, I think it's a good hive. they're going to be good. There's just some things that you kind of need to think about and figure out how to work around. Now, another thing that I have that I need to figure out, the oxalic acid vaporizer I use is not the type that has the little tube that you'll like insert in the entrance. You know, mine is the kind where you put the OA in the little burner pan on the front, you slide it under the hive, turn it on, and it vaporizes it. This is a plastic hive. I don't have anywhere in there that I can slide that vaporizer under there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do when it comes time to treat these bees. Most likely, sitting here looking at it off the top of my head, I'm just going to cut me a small piece of plywood that is the dimension of the hive, and then I will physically pick the hive up, set that board underneath of it, and then that'll give me, you know, a couple inches of clearance there between the board and the bottom of the hive. I can slide my vaporizer in there and try to get my OA treatments. If you've got a better idea, please jump down there in the comments and lay it on me, because I am wide open to suggestion, other than going out and buying a fancy new vaporizer that costs $500. I would rather not go that route just to accommodate treating these two hives. I think that's kind of about all I got as far as an initial review on them. Say maybe well, it wouldn't even be a 30-day mark. It'd be what, about a 2-week mark? No, it'd be about a 10-day mark. This is April 29th. But anyway, 10 days into using these, this is that's what I think so far, and some of the issues I've come up with. Do me a favor and throw a comment down there and hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll try to keep the videos coming. And as soon as I get caught up with the spring rush of beekeeping, we're going to get back to some bass fishing and some good old gun shooting here on the channel, because this is Top's Outdoor Adventures, and there's more to it than just the beekeeping. Anyway, thanks for showing up. You guys have a great day, and I hope everything works out well for you, and good luck with your honeybees.